Oh god.
What is the universe actually expanding into?
It's not. If you think of a bath bomb as expanding into the bath, then it's just attenuating into the open space. And if you think of everything else, it's pretty much a bath bomb. And space do thing.
What's fucked is if we look out far enough, we see that everything is literally moving away from us. Almost like we're the center of the universe. Because we are. You are. Even these distant galaxies are. Everything is the center of its own universe. And that...
Interesting. I mean, the expansion is happening in all directions. From no matter what position you are, you experience is that you will notice it expanding in all directions from wherever that point happens to be, is the theory and observation based on most things.
tells us something, because the expansion is occurring everywhere. The best way to imagine this is a 2D universe on the surface of a balloon.
When
we inflate the balloon, all the galaxies spread apart equally because the physical space between them is stretching. Our universe isn't a fucking balloon.
So the fascinating thing is, when I saw Science of Silence video, talked something about, and I did not, for life of me, couldn't be bothered to check, but he said something about at 5 million years, or billion, it was only then starting to be an accelerating system, because stuff was just spreading out, but then it became accelerating at some point. And I end up wondering, well, why could that be? It's probably because after stuff has been allowed to move for a certain amount of time, whatever's moving the fastest will be in front, and so on and so forth. And
balloon was expanding into something, my room. So what are we expanding into? We have two options. The first is that our universe could be infinite in size. Infinity doesn't need more space to grow because it already encompasses everything. Or in other words, infinity plus 1 is still infinity, and infinity plus infinity is also still infinity.
Yes, but some infinities are bigger than others. The point is that if you have stuff that's moving through space, unless something can affect it, like another gravity field, it is just going to keep moving. So whatever speed it started off, it just will do that. Unless, of course, you have, I don't know, some kind of thing that is like the tapestry of everything that happens to be like spreading apart and stuff, as we seem to be noticing a spreading happen. Which means there's still some phenomenon happening here, according to the theories.
I'll explain this paradox more on my subscriber page. Because an infinite universe doesn't need an outside, it can just expand into itself. Yeah, but what if our universe is finite in size? A finite universe would likely be unbounded, so if you traveled far enough, you would come back around. But if it's finite...
well, then we would see a bunch of stuff all traveling towards us, and we don't. But if it's big enough, we wouldn't be able to see far enough to find out that was the case. So,
expanding, it has to be expanding into something. No. Let me ask you, what is north of the North Pole? It sounds like a normal question until you...
the Earth and its north and whatever else is literally pointed that way compared to the sun. So, whatever.
I realize it makes no sense. This question is just like asking...
Earth is tilted, bro.
What is outside of...
I'm tilted, bro.
Space. Space is everything. Space isn't some object that sits in something larger. It's really just geometry. The expansion of space is not like something external is being pumped into it. It's just that our coordinate system is stretching and it doesn't need
might be onto something.
Anything to stretch into because, well, it's all self-contained. Oh, and the expansion of space is also speeding up, and we don't know why.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea and stuff about that. It's like it apparently did seem to be that when we look at certain parts or whatever else, that we see stuff be expanding out further, faster in the earlier times, but you got to realize earlier times is still, it took time for it to get there. So every time that we're looking at time, like if you see something move a light year per Earth second, but it's billions of years away, light years away, it took a billion years for that light to get to us. So how long did that light second actually take to expand? A fraction of billions of years? Or what? And if the other thing is in Silence of Silence video they talked about the redshift. You're not going to talk about redshift, but
it is, we just call it dark energy. So in short, the answer doesn't make sense because the question doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you didn't talk about redshift. Good job.
You can't have an outside of space.
Yeah. I want to play the poopy music. Because it's fun music. Use code poopy at your checkout for gamer subs. Check out the poopy show. Anyhow, I am only a fan of poopy. Anyway, she's like the son of is a deadly laser, except for a different attitude, similar amount of animation budget. That was a joke, not meaning to be offensive. Great attitude still, also. Anyway, the point is, blah 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 blah. Did he say anything wrong? Not expanding into something, doing the other stuff, kind of. He didn't say anything about stuff in the distances moving at faster than infinity and stuff, so that's not really how it's happening, and that's not. So he didn't say that. Not an A plus, because an A plus would require that you talk about how light behaves in the expansion, and more details is more points. But truth something blah north is a weird thing because we are tilted. Is that does that mean that he gave any amount of misinformation? I don't think so. Yeah, you get an A plus, an A, not an A plus. Good job. Like See? I'm not always hypocritical or whatever else. You don't get an F.